A Ukrainian superstition is that if you were to drink your tea, coffee, or whatever out of a mug that had the spoon in it still, you would not get married, so just so you know. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Melanie and I am super jazzed to be here as always. Today is our first 2022 chat. We've made it. What a time to be alive, folks, I tell ya. Now, end of 2021, Christmas, my mom's birthday. My birthday's at the beginning of the year, January 4th, so it's been really busy. Lots of family, lots of visiting, very restful, and lots of time for dreaming. I had originally planned on releasing a February monthly spread from my bullet journal today. However, for my birthday and for Christmas, I received a new lens as well as a GoPro, both of which I am totally new to operating. I did not use my DSLR camera for filming very much before I got this lens. Even filming this with this lens, I am playing around with my color grade, syncing up audio, incorporating different angles from different cameras, and trying to make the image look cohesive. All of this is a rather large learning curve for me, one that I'm really excited about, and I find a lot of creative satisfaction in learning these things. That being said, filming my February monthly spread did not go as well as I would have liked. My exposure was really off. I had played around with my camera settings and I didn't fully fix them before I was like halfway through the spread. The colors were not showing up on the page. It was an ordeal, so I will quickly show you some time-lapsed footage of my February monthly spread for those of you who are invested in my journal process, but we're gonna just brush over the fact that some videos are lost to learning curves. That's okay though. Honestly, the spread is nice. I love bullet journaling, but I haven't been putting out a lot of content on the channel about our homestead, developing TamTERRA, and projects that we have going on. So I'm excited to release this chit chat and chai episode so that I can catch you guys up. So our 2021 project wrap up. Greenhouse. It is just one of those things that was never really high up on the priority list, and we were able to work around and had other projects that were a lot more time sensitive that we still haven't finished our greenhouse. There's not a lot that has to be done. It's just the finishing touches that really make you feel satisfied in your work and actually let you cross something off the list. We have to finish framing out one of the back walls and basically give it a final coat of paint. But it's kind of been like 3 years in the progress. It's a little defeating to acknowledge it, but this springtime we are going to finish the greenhouse, check it off the list for good so we can move on and fully utilize that space. As some of you may be aware, we rent out space here on the property for private events, and we have been developing and working on campsites. There are a few that have been cleared out, picnic tables have been built, but there are some final touches that need to happen around our campsite endeavor to be able to actually invite guests here on the property. So we are getting those final things kind of sorted out. We have, I think, one more picnic table to build, just some small leveling of ground and landscaping in the actual areas, and then getting things up and running on the hip campsite. So stay tuned for that if you're ever looking to come out this way camping. We have that in the works and are hopefully going to have that up and running by summer of 2022. So we got a few months still to get some things figured out, but we also have, what, 3.5 feet of snow, so we can't really do a lot of the outside stuff at the moment. Two other kind of lingering, ongoing projects would be the she shed and our bunkhouse. The she shed is my grandfather's chicken coop that's being converted into a single bedroom off-grid abode for visitors, whether they be family or someone who's just wanting to rent an off-grid space. This is not a permanent dwelling, it's like a bedroom. It's essentially a bedroom outside in a shed that was once a chicken coop. It needs a roof, we need to finish up the inside. It's been insulated, it's waterproofed and weather-proofed, but it just has to be finished. And our last construction-related project to tie up our 2021 year would be the bunkhouse. We have to finish the inside of it, essentially. So drywall, there's some insulation that needs to be finished, flooring, building cabinets, getting the wood fire stove properly installed, and some electrical work done. It's going to be off-grid as well, but it will have the option of having like a single outlet, just because it's close enough to our house that we can allow for that and it'll work. So those are the projects that we have to finish in order to be able to tie a nice bow on the year 2021 and enter the new year with a clean slate and new project ready. We do have obviously a very extensive list of things we want to accomplish here on the property, but that kind of is just the way it goes. That list, even though you cross things off of it, never really gets shorter. We've got 4 big projects that I know we are going to try to be tackling this coming spring, early summer. There is a plethora of other things that need to occur, including finishing the projects from 2021 season, but everything is just so up in the air these days. We've got so many projects going on. Mom's got her business that's going. There's just a lot of moving pieces. So while I would love to say that we're going to be able to cross all of this off of our list and just for sure have these deadlines, you need to allow that wiggle room just for life. And that could be anything from having a really long winter and losing a month of construction time because there's still snow on the ground, to economic shutdown because the world's a little psychotic, to, I don't know, an earthquake. There's literally an endless amount of possibilities that you just have to kind of allow for some flow and some wiggle room in your goal setting. At least I do. If you don't have to do that, then good job. This list is in no particular order. The first project I'm excited to tell you guys about is garden related because those are the projects I tend to get the most excited about. We're going to be putting in a high tunnel. We're planning on putting the high tunnel in the front lower right corner of our property. If you guys have seen any of our garden tours, there are in-ground beds over there that kind of step down. We're going to bring in a machine, level it out, and actually dig down around 3, maybe 4 feet deep to put in this high tunnel. The high tunnel structure itself is going to be built out of wood and it's going to be permanent. We will build it to be able to take the plastic on and off on the sides, but we're going to have to use that kind of corrugated clear plastic on top or something of the sorts. The goal is to have a very sturdy, permanent structure. Where we are in the North Okanagan, we are known for some of the heaviest snow loads. We get full-on winters, and we have seen many of those half-circle polytunnels succumb to the weight of 4.5 feet of snow. This is a very real consideration for when you're building structures out where we live, is the snow load. So we're going to have to design a strong, sturdy, high tunnel structure. Very exciting, still in the process and the planning stages, but if we can make significant progress on this high tunnel this coming spring, I will be one very happy camper. Along with a very heavy snow load, we do have a shorter growing season because we're higher in the mountains, so having a covered growing space like that is actually indented or dug into the ground around 3 feet will really extend our growing season because it'll help moderate the temperature in that structure. Any type of season extension that we can start to work towards will be really beneficial for us having a successful gardening year. It is something that's going to open a lot of doors for us, so I'm very excited for us to get some progress going on that in 2022. Another gardening related focus for 2022 will be our composting situation. We are avid composters. We do compost all of our household waste, food waste. I feel like I should clarify that because there's some people out there who do the whole human manure thing and we are not there yet, but we do compost all of our food waste. While that is great and awesome, we have not really been diligent in moderating or encouraging composting in our current composting piles, and they are quite small. with the coming year and learning what I learned last year and wanting to maintain good, healthy garden beds, compost is a big part of that. We want to be actively building and regenerating soil here. It's really important both to myself and my mom. Composting is obviously a very big part of that. It's also a huge financial necessity when you're gardening on a larger scale. Purchasing compost every year to amend your beds can get really expensive. You also have a lot of just green plant waste from maintaining a garden as well as maintaining a forested 56 acres. So not having a good large scale setup composting system is irresponsible. We know better. We just haven't gotten around to doing better yet. So this year we're going to be building a composting bay. It will resemble in a loose design that of Charles Dowding. If you are not familiar with him, you live under a YouTube rock. Again, because where we live, we get the 4 seasons, we have full-on winter, so it's going to be a very sturdy, large, permanent structure. It'll need a metal, seriously slanted roof, and I'm excited to get it going. This is going to be different bays for obviously household food waste compost, but also our larger scale gardening compost. And then even larger than that, we have a forest that we maintain here as well. So composting down and chipping any kind of wood chips or mulches that we might need to use in the future. All of that is going to occur in the composting hub that we're going to hopefully be building like Charles Dowding's. We will probably use a lot of refurbished, recycled, and secondhand sourced materials, so it might not be exactly like his. We might use some logs instead of 2x4s, who knows. I will hopefully find a video where he talks about his composting system, and I'll link it below in the description, but that's going to be the general focus, theme, and direction, the inspiration of our composting bay that we'll be building this coming spring. Really exciting because composting is such an integral part of homesteading and doing it sustainably and regeneratively. It closes the loop on so many things. It circles and cycles back all of your waste into producing something good, beautiful, and healthy in the soil, which then produces beautiful, wonderful, rich food for you. So it closes a lot of the loops that you have on a homestead, which is why we're excited to really delve into the composting world and attack it with some more vigor. On the composting note, my birthday gift was a bokashi composting setup. My mom gifted it to me. I am very excited. I was tired and zoned out and drained from socializing over Christmas when she gave it to me, so I didn't react very excited when she gave it to me. I feel bad about that. But I am in fact very excited. I will be doing an entire TamTERRA Grows vlog all about my bokashi system. I'm still learning, so before I share anything too exciting about it or try to get into the details, I'm gonna just get acquainted with the system myself first so I don't pass on any misinformation and can actually give you guys a good little rundown on what I found beneficial about it and some areas that I don't find it applicable. So bokashi composting, very exciting. It's kind of a fun interim project in the winter months while I hold out for the larger composting process coming up this spring. We're going to be putting this composting bay right next to the potato patch, in which, guys, my potato harvesting video has over 3,000 views. This video has done better than all of my other videos. I am shooketh because I love potatoes so much, and it was just really exciting for me because that was probably the video, the content I was most excited to create this past year was my potato journey, to be able to document my genuine excitement of my first experience growing potatoes in a no-dig garden bed, and the harvest and the hardships and the trials, tribulations. It's just really satisfying knowing that other people have been seeing the video, potentially learning something from the video, but there's been a lot of engagement on that video, over 3,000. I know that's not a lot in the grand scheme of YouTube, but for me that's really exciting. So if you guys found me via my potato video, welcome, hello, hi. And if you haven't checked out the potato video, by all means, go and take a look. That is going to be the area of our property that we're putting in this composting bay right next to our potato patch. Animal husbandry. We are going to be doing meat birds, and we are also going to be starting our own rabbitry. We're going to be doing meat rabbits as well. Like I said, we have some infrastructure to get into place before we bring home some chickens and some bunnies. But we have our old dog kennel that before being a dog kennel was a goat pen. We are going to retrofit that to be a rabbitry area and then potentially just have our meat birds open in the larger enclosure. I will be taking you guys along with us while we build the infrastructure as well as start our adventure into animal husbandry. Mom has some experience with raising out meat birds, but the rabbits are an entirely new endeavor for us. It's very exciting. Both meat birds and rabbits are entry level, or at least are considered entry level when it comes to raising livestock on a homestead. So I'm feeling fairly confident in our ability to do this regeneratively, responsibly. It's exciting and nerve-wracking. I could probably spiral into like a bit of an anxiety, I don't know, spiral around being responsible for raising animals and the learning process around that, but I've raised fish, I've raised snakes, I've raised cats, I've raised dogs, I've raised ferrets, I've raised goats. What else, you know? Bring it on. I can raise a bunny. I can raise a chicken. We can do this. We are a meat-eating family. I'm excited to be able to do that responsibly, ethically, locally. And again, closing that circle on things that are important to me, which would be good food, taking care of the land we're on. Chickens and rabbits are both so beneficial for the larger ecosystem of a homestead. Both are great contributors to the garden. Both will eat garden scraps. It's just a sustainable dream. You need that animal aspect on a homestead in order to fully get into the rhythm of life, you know? You gotta work the land, you gotta have the garden, you gotta have the composting, you gotta bring in all of these different aspects, work them together, and I'm excited to, I guess, take it to the next level. We're going to be looking at a few different ways of raising out both meat birds and rabbits. Both are tractorable, so you can have them in chicken tractors or rabbit tractors. You can move them, you can have pens, you can have them colony style, you can have them in cages. There's a lot of options. So we will be kind of working through the finer details in the springtime. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below if you have ever raised out meat chickens, any kind of advice you have on the breeds. As always, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below if you have raised out meat birds or meat rabbits in the past and have some must-know advice. Leave it in the comments section. I am a humble beginner and would gladly accept any kind of recommendations for breeds of meat birds or rabbits. There are so many options out there, and this is when I become thankful for the restful time of winter so that I can really sink my teeth into some research. So hit me up in the comments if you have recommendations. They're very appreciated. On a more personal note, to finish off our chit chat and chai here, I am basically going to be more dedicated to creating content here on YouTube. I'm not going to say I'm going to be taking it more seriously because I've always taken my videos and creating content and connecting with you guys rather seriously, but I am going to be more dedicated to building a community here on this channel. One of the reasons I started this YouTube channel was because it created a direct line to people who shared the same interests as me. We are 2 years out of some type of crazy pandemic that has turned this world topsy-turvy. Now more than ever, I am realizing that I value the friendships I've found here online, and I want to continue to cultivate heart-centered fellowship and community. I'm excited for my new filming equipment. I'm excited for the 2022 year to come. I know that I have gone through a lot of changes in the last year. I'm sure everyone else has as well. And I'm just excited to, I guess, rededicate myself to my creative process, to the homestead here, and to developing community in both. So I feel like I say I'm excited a lot in chit chat and chais. I'm not really like an excitable person. Maybe I am. I'm passionate. February is the last month of winter, so it's kind of like you're starting to get antsy, you're starting to feel that energy build up, you know, the world starts to come back alive. It is Imbolc, February 1st. It's the candle lighting ceremony in the pagan world. It's a beautiful time. Things start to stir. Nothing's waking up yet, but you start to have that kind of creative passion fire inside of you rekindle, and you start to dare to dream what spring might actually be like. So This is a lovely kind of infancy stage for a lot of larger dreams. My mom and I are looking forward to this year coming up. We've got a lot of plans, a lot of energy. We've been pent up inside for a while. I'm really grateful that you all decided to be here with me today. As always, may the force be with you. I will see you all back here with another video very shortly. Bye-bye. GoPro, stop recording. Oh, technology. I tell you. GoPro, turn off. Ta-da! A whole new world.